Hey, what up, you guys? It's your girl, Aarona Lopez, aka Aarona the Virgo, just coming in here real quick to let you know why I think you should support the Harriot movie, okay? I think it's very important to support black business. I think it's very important to support black films so black actors, black staff, and black directors get paid. We can't be critical of us not getting enough opportunities if we don't take the ones we have and transform them. I think every project that employs black people and wants to tell black stories, all right, as long as they're not spewing like hate speech and stuff like that, they're worth at least supporting. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because Hollywood cares about money, baby. It's all about money. It's all about that bottom line. Hollywood only cares if the movie is going to make money. So what we have to do is support the film to show them that films that star black actors, that star black people in the leading roles, and are directed by black people are profitable films. The moment we continue to consistently show up and show out to show them that that's a profitable situation, the more movies will be made and we could tell more stories. Now, I get what everybody's saying as far as, the plot line feeling like betrayal because Harriet Tubman is so historical. She's so powerful and important to our movement. And Harriet really wasn't nobody's punk and she ain't take no stuff. So it's really a situation of kind of feeling slighted because it's kind of like feeling like she was, taken out of her power or reduced in some way. I totally understand the argument, and I really don't have a problem with anybody who thinks that way and sees it that way. I totally understand why you see it that way. I don't like that whole like white savior narrative anyway. I don't like it either. I was done with that stuff at the Dangerous Minds. When I saw Michelle Pfeiffer in that jacket, I was like, I'm done with this. The best part about Dangerous Minds was Coolio, Gangsta's Paradise, and he wasn't even in the movie. Okay, so I don't be for that either. In fact, my favorite Save the School movie is Lean on Me with Morgan Freeman. Okay, they used to call me crazy. Now they call me Batman. That's what I like. Okay, but as far as the overall big picture, I just want everybody to look at the big picture. We can't cherry pick all these movies when, number one, we still have so far to go in as far as producing more content that speaks to us and our audience, that satisfies us and our spending power. We have a long way to go. We aren't nowhere near close. And so I just don't want us to be too close-minded. I don't want us to be too bougie. I don't want us to be too disillusioned to think that, I get it. Air your grievances about the movie. Or treat it like a screening. You know how like when you go to film festivals, if you ever been to a film festival before, you watch a selection of movies and then y'all just discuss it afterwards. Treat it like that. Treat it like you went to a screening. Go give the film your money, especially because I found out that it's directed by Casey Lemons and I love her. Back in college, I did a research project. It was a thesis project called The Invisibility of African American Women in the Director's Chair. And she was one of my case studies. It was her, Cheryl Dunye, and Julie Dash. And that was one of my most favorite things I've ever looked up and researched. It was so interesting. And that was back in those days when I was trying to be the filmmaker. What Casey Lemons does that I love is she tells black stories, but she also shows alternative. The thing about East Bayou, that family was a family that they weren't rich, but they were, classy. They were in the upper echelon. Lynn Whitfield was, that family, they were prestigious because Samuel Jackson, the husband, was a doctor. All those things. It also, showed who had Diane Carroll in it. See, rest in peace, Diane Carroll. See, that movie was all kind of expensive black excellence and expensive black girl magic, but it even showed the subculture and the counterculture of Louisiana and the Bayou. Things that weren't often explored in films. Same thing with Caveman's Valentine. Jamie Foxx was this brilliant pianist from Juilliard, but he was crazy and he was homeless. First of all, we don't have no movies about black people at Juilliard. You know what I'm saying? Who are like ridiculously genius. So movies like that it's pretty consistent with her style for those that's not familiar. So yeah, I can totally see her doing a movie about somebody that's famed and legend like Harriot, but offering an alternative viewpoint that more than likely happened, and I'll get to that in a second. Offering an alternative viewpoint, but telling a story. I got two things to share, and then I'm gonna wrap this up, okay? Of why you should support it and why you need to look a little deeper. Okay, number one, everybody didn't like the fact that, and I haven't seen it yet, so I'm giving the synopsis that is already out there in the streets that everybody is already familiar with, and I'm giving my take on it from number one, a black actress / black writer, because I've submitted a gang of stuff to WGA and I'm in SAG, okay? So I'm coming from that perspective. This is just my view, right? And then also someone who was interested in directing film and pursue film. I'm coming from that angle as well. And then the second angle I'm coming from is from a black history perspective, that of which is one of my jams, okay? I love some black history. We ain't even got to go that deep, but I got you. Okay, now listen. First and foremost, from a writing perspective, from an acting perspective, from a movie perspective, it's a film. It's not a documentary. So, you want it to be factual, but you also want it to be entertaining and enjoyable. What the goal was to make an entertaining movie about an important figure in history whose story needed to be told. That's number one. Number two, it's more important that we make these stories and still go support them so that our kids can see us being represented in movies. You can always have the talk with them later of, well, you know what, I didn't like this part in the movie. I felt like this was a little inconsistent, but at least you can get the conversation going. What's more important is representation. Representation matters. And especially for someone as important as a Harriet Tubman, it's the more we go support it, the more younger kids will know the real story about her, and that is very powerful. The word of mouth is very powerful. We can't rely on Hollywood to tell all our stories. That's the other part. We have to take responsibility of owning our narrative. So you go see it, you go support, you expose kids, friends, whomever, and then you create dialogues and platforms, and you make your own movie. Okay? 3, from a writing, acting, directing perspective, movies have to have, and shows, TV shows, movies, they have to have a story arc, okay? There has to be, the antagonist, the protagonist. They have to have a conflict. This is classic storytelling. There has to be a conflict. Then there has to be the climax or the arc, the top of where, are we doomed? Can we get out of this? Will we go on? To keep you engaged in the story, to keep you watching the movie, the TV show. And then you have the falling arch, which is the conflict resolution, the end, blase, skippy. That's just classic Hollywood storytelling, classic television writing. So there had to be some type of conflict, because here's the real. Harriet wasn't no punk, and she wasn't taking no prisoners. So if the entire movie she was undefeated, where's the case in point? Titanic really happened. It was a real incident in history. But the movie Titanic focused on a love story that possibly took place on the famed ship. It zeroed in on the story, the love story. You still got all the historical figures of, this ship was so immaculate, it was beautiful, but it hit an iceberg and it sank. But just to leave the story there, boring. You put character, story, motivation, interpretation, all of that in there, conflict, rise, fall. Now we engage, and we need to know what's going to happen with Jack and, I forgot her name. King of the World and Jack. We engaged. I say that to say this. Black people, we going to stop acting like every black story is going to be perfect, and we going to stop acting like we perfect. Okay? A lot of people was mad that there was a black bounty hunter out to get her, but then she gets saved by like a white slave master that tried to enslave her. But it's like, let's keep it 1,000. There's black people that betray people right now over the stupidest things. There's black people that don't even like you on Facebook over the dumbest things and will really genuinely have a problem with you. That's reality now. That ain't even slavery. So think about this. In slavery, when we were being controlled, killed, and scared, you don't think that there was at least one sucker MC out there that was willing to sell Harriet out for a promise of whatever? Really? I mean, I can guarantee you, okay? People was getting lynched, hanging from trees, all this kind of crazy, scary stuff. And somebody go, man, she's got to be stopped. Damn, wait, there's got to be at least one sucker. Hey, I knock her head off for $20. Like, you know, there's always one sucker. Bitch gone. She gone. She good as gone. Like, there's always one. So I'm saying, I don't think the story's too far-fetched. I don't think that is something that is a utter and complete betrayal and a tarnish to her legacy and the story. Just ride with it. It's a movie. Genuine critique, have it. And let's promote and create discussions around it. And then let's come up with solutions. Let's make another movie. Let's make our own movie. Like, let's, you feel me? But support this one, okay? Give some black actors some money. Get them a paycheck. Support a black director. Make this movie profitable, and we'll have more movies to come. I've been Aarona Lopez. That has been my Virgo Viewpoint. Follow me right here on YouTube, www.youtube.com/AARONA-LOPEZ. I have a Patreon page where I'll have complete exclusive material that you can't find nowhere on the web. Some of it is explicit because I can't say everything I want to say on YouTube. So you got to come over to Patreon. I can't do everything I want to do on YouTube. So you got to come on over to Patreon. That's www.patreon.com/Aarona the Virgo. AARONATHEVIRGO. Also follow me on Collide. I'll be having some sex talk on there and some tarot talk. Okay? www.collide, COLLIDE.com/AARONATHEVIRGO. I do tarot readings. You can find some of them on this channel in some of the live videos. But I'm also creating an entire YouTube page for them that will be called, you guessed it, Aarona the Virgo. AARONATHEVIRGO. If you're into that kind of thing and you want to see what my readings are for love and money for the different zodiac signs, you can come and join that channel. And then if you would like a one-on-one reading, hit me in the comments, hit me an email. You got to have Venmo or Cash App right now. I'm setting up a website. It's coming. But in the meantime, if you want to get on down and get started right away, that's what you'll need. In the meantime, check out my podcast. I do a love and money reading daily in the tarot cards of the day. So it's Aarona's Virgo Viewpoint. It's the address, okay? Because I'm having my coffee, so now my thoughts are coming to me properly. The podcast is called The Virgo Viewpoint, as you can guess. The Virgo Viewpoint. It's on 5 to 6 podcast platforms, including Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. My favorite is Anchor. So do me a favor, because your girl is building her own career. We're kind of out of work, and Anchor is my favorite because it has ads, all right? So go to https:/anchor.fm/Aarona's Virgo Viewpoint. That's the web address. Anchor.fm/AARONAS Virgo Viewpoint. Also, check out my second podcast, Sex Flicks and Chill, also on Anchor.fm/Sex Flicks, regular spelling, FLICKS, and chill. Like Netflix and chill, it's Sex Flicks and Chill. But, you know, you got to listen to it to find out what it's about. Love y'all. Bye. Peace.